which means the only change is Michael Cheekham on into the team for Thomas Burgess, who is realistically in a game like this a very, very
Did
big
Nick
out.
play last week?
I felt like he didn't, but apparently it's unchanged just reading this.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see him at all. When
I don't remember him being out there.
If they go from the reserves to the bench, it doesn't count as a change because they were still in the squad.
No, but Cheekham was the 18th man last week.
Yeah, he's come in for Burgess, but
That's
I
right.
don't remember Nick around.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
But
Anyway, we're heading here, Barn. You're coming off a 90-minute game, and South's coming off a 6-day backup off the Bash Fest. What are you thinking? How confident are you? Where are we headed?
I wouldn't be. This game is going to be very close, I would imagine. I think this will be another example of semi-finals football. I think a lot of this game will be played through the middle of the field. Again, I'm going to go with the impact off the benches. I think the Sharks will survive that interchange period through their forwards a little bit better than what you're going to get out of Cheekham, Saleh and Havili coming on compared to your McGuinness, Uele and Fafita. I just think there's going to be a little bit more physicality off the Sharks with using their bench through the middle of the field. And if South's, I think South's best option is to go wide and go wide early and try to score points and then force the Sharks to try and play some catch-up football. If the Sharks can keep it close for the majority of the first half, I think they will be stronger at the back end of this game, even though they did go through a 90-minute game the week before. You guys like McGuinness, Finucane, they just seem to fucking run forever. Like, they don't get tired. I don't know what it is. They're just like of that Bradley Clyde mould where they just tackle and run the ball all day long. And I think the Sharks probably got a little bit of size in the front row with your Uelis, Rudolph and the likes. They're that fraction bit bigger and can sort of physically bully the Rabbits a little bit in the middle of the field. Obviously, the back row is probably the biggest contention in this game. You got your Wade, Graham, and Nakora up against Kulamutangi and Jai Arrow. Realistically, South should win that battle, but just on the back of Nakora's footwork and speed, I think he's going to cause a few issues on with Jai Arrow and the halves trying to defend him there. I think he may be in for a big game as well. So I'm going to tip the Sharks. I'm not overly confident, but I think they'll get away with, again, as I said last week, a 4 to 6 point win, which they lost by 2 points. So they'll probably lose this one by a 2-point field goal as well. But we'll go Sharks 1 to 12. Nicho man of the match. And I'm going to go, as I said, Nakora. I think his footwork and speed on an edge will cause a few problems for Souths. So,
well, I think this is where a certain, I wouldn't say stat, but a certain structure of how teams are set up will come into play now for South Sydney. And it's something that at the start of the year on our preview show that Gump brought up. When was the last time you saw a team without a game-controlling half win a premiership?
That's true.
It's not happened in the NRL era. We've said time and again about how South's halves have been a bit of a shambles overall. There's not that game-controlling half. I know they versus Roosters last week. Yes, they've got Keary and Walker have looked good at times, but they've not really been the biggest challenge. But you know who does have a game-controlling half? And said game-controlling half has just won a certain Player of the Year, Player of the Year award for this very podcast. Nicho Hynes for Cronulla, and I think that'll be the difference maker, like he was literally against South Sydney the last time these two played when he slotted over the game-winning field goal. It's just that control and attack and that calmness across the field that I think is going to win Cronulla the game. I'd say their backs overall, their edges are better than South Sydney. Whether you think that's close or not, obviously at fullback Latrell's better, but I've realised this is as good a time as any to bring it up. Congratulations, William Kennedy. On that preview show, we were debating whether he'll end up better than Clint Gutherson. He's literally by a length now, even though he's missed a few weeks. And I think the Fords can do it.
The consistency, yes.
The Fords, it's tighter, but I feel like Cronulla can well and truly still win this Ford pack battle. And I think players coming off the bench as well. Fafita hasn't been horrible recently. Cam McGuinness has been amazing. I feel like Cronulla just have South Sydney covered, and that's simply what it'll be. It'll be 1 to 12. It'll be a close game. South Sydney, I'm tipping to play out of their skin, but it'll just be a case of being beaten by the better team on the night, and the better team on the night having a game-controlling half, which is what every premiership-winning team has had for so over long. I'm not saying Cronulla will win the comp, but this is the type of game where not having that will cost South Sydney.
Great chat, Ollie. Yeah, well done.
Oh, sorry. First try scorer, I'll say C is C for Talakai over Paul Tass there. And man of the match, well, it's got to be the Daguerre medalist, Nicho Hynes.
I look at these teams and it doesn't compute that this should be competitive, but we've seen all year that it is competitive, and I'm going to pay the due respects. I think the old warhorses, Finucane and Graham, can match the back row there, but by all rights, that back row should have the Sharks covered. I can see this being a high-scoring game. I think if Sharks play the same way they did, I think they will score more points than South. And this could be realistically a 32-24 sort of game where they might get that one extra try. This will all come back to this. The nervous thing is, and I'm going to go this as a first try. The nervous thing is, Matt Moylan makes me so nervous in defence, and I can't shake it. And I can see Colin Matungi. I was about to say, I can see Colin Matungi just either walking across untouched or with a nice
Matt.
stroke of as Matt just wafts off to the right. Colin Matungi will score first try on the back of a Walker assist, and that can set the tone early. But I'm hoping they man up. I think I'm going to go with the Sharks 1-12. I think I'm going to allay my doubts I've had all year because they've proved wrong at every single step, and I'm going to stick with them. Especially what they produced last week was very good, and your point is the bench will be exciting. I can see this being This will be a 12-point chase down. South maybe early, and then the bench just ascending it, coming back, and then the bed being shit, and the pumpkins coming out, and the back 20 minutes of this game being very ugly, and South's maybe
not having a half.
The more I think about this, yeah, exactly. But even saying 8 points,
even
maybe
saying
closer.
that, there's three blokes in this South team that scare the shit out of me, and it's Kulamutangi, Cameron Murray, and Latrell.
Yeah.
Those three blokes on their own can score tries and set up tries, and they can do it. They could have two blokes on them and still be able to get a ball away or play before the line or push two blokes off and score. And at the back end of this game, if the Sharks do drop away, those three will beat them.
Yeah, and Cook in those clutch moments. At the end of the day, you got him credit.
I'll tell you what, it would be cool to see, though, if, as I said, Nicho's controlling this game, having a great performance, and is getting to a point where Ilias and Walker are just not working out. Latrell Mitchell does the old Thanos from the Avengers post-credits and he goes, all right, I'll do it myself, and just comes up and just absolutely blitzes him. As a neutral, it'd be cool to see.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
No, nothing would. And like every fibre I've been is thinking Souths will win this game, but I'm tipping the Sharks. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Colin Matungi, as mentioned. I think that will happen early. And I suspect, yes, we will be raving about Nicho's effort. And what a story for him to come from. Everyone knows the story from where he's been 2 years ago to be from a bench player to be now.
We just go back and look
the
at
Australian team. Really,
well, last year he was fantastic as well.
It's like a 4-minute highlight package for the Sharks versus the Cowboys. If you've got any doubts about Nicho Hynes, just go and watch that highlight package and just see what he does to provide points for the Sharks.
But that's
in
right.
That
like
4 minute.
The thing is, he's got everything. He's got short ball, long ball. He can run, and he can kick. Short kick, long kick, chip.
He needs a little bit of work on his kicking game, but yeah.
It's not Nathan Cleary, but it is. I'll take it. Anyway, there we are.